I would love to hear what Doug says, because I'm going to farm a clip on the other thing anyway tonight.
No, there you go. All right. So you linked me an article by the FT that I read, which is about the AI music companies working on licensing with some of the big music publishers. And this was very light on technical details, which I found concerning. But it was very much like the music companies are saying, okay, during the internet era with Napster and LimeWire, all this pirating, it was this huge thing. The amount of share the music industry had in totality like dropped like 60, 70%. As a result, like they just got cratered. Right. They got wiped out by the internet, never fully recovered. And so they're like, we understand that AI is a similar existential threat. We got to get ahead of it. So we are talking with licensing deals. And the thing I saw, one of the quotes is like, we want it to be something like Spotify, where every time an AI song is played, if it utilizes our music, then we would get a cut. I mean, that makes sense, right? It's or similar to sampling music, right? If you use a sample. The AI companies, at least in that article, didn't comment on it in any way. They're just apparently in communications. So for this specifically, it's interesting because generative AI in general, some people seem to think it's like you're sampling music. If you make an AI song, it's not like it picks 5 songs and combines them together. It has been trained off of millions, or in the case of images, billions of pieces of data that it slowly trains on. And so when you ask it, go make me a cool EDM song, it's not going and saying, I'm going to get Justice's song and sample it, and I'm going to get Skrillex's song and sample it. It's similar to if you said, hey, The Weeknd, the artist, you just released a new album. Everybody you've ever taken inspiration from and any music you've ever listened to in your life, you need to give them a cut of the money, because that technically influenced how you made your new thing. It's like, how on earth would you enforce that? So it is interesting that the AI and audio industries are talking about this, because to me, this doesn't feel tenable at all. And on the other side, I definitely want us to move to a world where if you create content and that is used by an AI company to train their model, who then goes and makes things, I think you should be compensated for that. And that's the world we seem to be moving towards with like the New York Times licensing, Reddit licensing. Various other companies are saying, hey, AI companies, you can use our stuff if you pay us. But at the same time, the idea that the music industry is like, yeah, we should get a little credit every time somebody makes a song. It's like, that doesn't make sense, because on the technical level, that's not how it's working. A model is being trained off of millions and millions and millions of songs, which turn into a math equation that can sort of reverse engineer what a song is.
Sure, but I mean, it's being trained off of the songs they own, right? Like, those songs are being ripped without permission, and being trained on them. You know, it's interesting. I mean,
it's a complex thing, and this article made me think, like, music industry, you don't understand how AI works, do you?
They didn't understand the internet either.
Right.
They're probably going to get screwed on this.
And they're confidently saying, we're not going to be left behind on this one. We know it's a big deal. And it's like, you don't sound like... one of the quotes is literally like, if a song is played that uses our music, we should get credit. That's literally every song. Again, to train an AI model, you train it on all of the music that slowly tweaks a formula. That would mean every single song in existence that it's been trained off of is used every time, technically.
Yeah.
So this doesn't make sense.
I do agree.
It's a weird, intractable problem that applies to all of generative AI, and I don't see an easy solution to it.
And we're seeing this problem on a bigger scale. We talked about the AI slop feed.
Yeah,
Sora, where Sora launched, and they had an opt-out copyright law program, which basically said, if you don't want us to steal your stuff and make Rick and Morty or whatever, then you come and opt out, but we're going to do it otherwise. Which is not how copyright law works.
Can you do that with crime? Like, you can rob a bank, but they have to let you know.
Yeah, all the banks in the area have to opt out from me robbing them.
Dude, you're covered.
Well, so they did that for one day, literally one day, until they got 10 billion legal calls. I mean, I think the WWE was the one that led the most, because they were getting their stuff pirated or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Sam Altman backtracked, and now everyone on the Sora Reddit or whatever is complaining, because they're getting so many more, we can't make this, because like you're trying to make, anyway, so that's happening. But, you know, I mean, I get what you're saying, Doug, in that it's training on everything. But I've been scrolling Sora to test it out. Like, they're creating South Park episodes that have the voices and the drawings and then I heard like it was outputting the actual unchanged Stranger Things soundtrack, like as it was.
Yeah.
So like, there's clearly some...
Yeah, no, it can do, and that's what makes this so complex and weird. It's like, so let's say that you want to say, if your AI uses our copyrighted content explicitly, like it, and when I say use, it would recreate it. But let's say it recreates SpongeBob or the Stranger Things soundtrack. In that case, if it's clearly recognizable, let's say your company has to try to identify it in some way, we get credit. And maybe you do that. But then the question is, again, if I say make a song that is inspired by The Weeknd,
Right.
it's not gonna be the actual sample.
No, I think that's a much. I agree with
And
you.
then
That's
again,
like
this is how
nearly
real
impossible.
human creatives work. I'm inspired by people all the time. I don't have to give them my YouTube revenue because I was inspired by a cool Hitman video you did or something.
Yeah.
Which isn't a real case. So it's
Oh, it's a real case. You're gonna have to pay me.
yeah. Well, joke's on you. It didn't work very well. All right. People didn't think it was that
I still
funny
want the cut.
for
I still want the
GTA
cut.
5. It's so challenging. So that would be an easy one where you say, hey, if the AI recreates a recognizable piece of copyrighted content, you have to pay. That's easy. The much harder version is where it's Sponge Man instead of SpongeBob, and it looks similar, and it's a clearly inspired show. And at that point, what is the difference between inspiration and ripoff? That's so hard to define.
I think this is going to be such a battle in the next
Yes.
year. Like everyone is gearing up, and like you said, I think what I've read too is they have fresh pain from the internet. They remember
Right.
how they got screwed,
Right.
And so they're throwing every dollar, like all the movie industries,
Yeah.
they're lawyering up. And then the AI companies have even more money, a substantially amount more money. They have billions. So
Well,
it's
they just make money appear by just
by
saying the word
saying
AI.
the word AI. And so that's an infinite money well. And so they're both just about to go crazy. I mean, I don't know how it's going to play out.
I'm definitely going to keep trying to follow it pretty closely.
Yeah.
And currently, I see no good solution. The most obvious thing is going to be the AI companies pay a license to be able to train their models off of the library. And that is already happening with a number of companies. But there's, as we've talked about it before in the past, there's huge lawsuits right now that are going to be determining this about whether a company can say, I shouldn't have to pay you in the first place because it is transformative. So
Well, also because right now, all the AI models, the really good ones that everyone's are using, are through a few mostly big, mostly American companies that they can still negotiate with. But once the
Right.
tech gets more, and everyone can run shit locally on a DeepSeek an
China,
open source
China
model,
can and will make a model that does this exact same thing, and you will not be able to
and you
stop
can
it.
run it
Yeah.
locally and then make as much copyright as you want, and then put it on TikTok. Like it's going to be such a problem. I don't really understand how to.
I don't.
Yeah, it's a wave coming for all these companies, and I don't understand how to.
It kind of feels like there's no winning for those companies.
This is Sam Altman's blog, by the way.
It's
It's
tough.
very funny. It's worth a read. It is him after one day of Sora,
I didn't-
recognizing how this is not working how he planned. It's first him saying, "Hey, rights holders, we're not going to do that opt-out thing. That was mostly a goof, and we're going to have a thing where we can share the revenue with you, and we're going to figure that out. We're working on it." That's him realizing like there's legal pressure coming immediately. The second thing is him saying like, "Hey, we really do have to make money on this, though. People are making way more of these than we thought, and most of them are not getting as many views as we thought." Which is very funny because it's very expensive to make. Like the
Yeah.
GPU time to make a video. And we thought about this from
Also
our first
funny because
discussion.
he's said this exact same thing several times.
Yeah, like on every
On every product launch, which leads me to believe that, and other people as well, that this is not an accident, that it wasn't like, oh God, no, copyrighted content. It's a very deliberate strategy to put it out there, get it a ton of attention. So everybody's like, holy shit, what's going on?
cool.
And then you get to pull it back and go, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But I do think, I mean, I don't know if they expected how much of the traffic would come from people just yoinking this stuff off Sora and putting it somewhere else where they can't monetize. Like, how does OpenAI make the money?
It's off of compute time. That is their current plan. So it's the creation of it.
Yeah, but I was saying this on stream, but have you ever been to like memegenerator.com or whatever where you can, like, that is not a profit. That's a small business. It's a very small business. If they become the GPU meme generator, is that really enough to pay for the
I mean, potentially
$1 trillion they need for the
not that much, but
Yeah.
counterpoint Adobe, right? Adobe is a set of tools to be able to make things. And if this is a different tool where you can go and say, this is the type of video I want to create, and you don't have to pay $50 a month for Adobe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're just gambling on enough people paying for the tool because
It's a creation tool.
The social media is the vehicle to advertise the tool, basically.
Yeah.
It's like if I keep seeing, it's the same thing with like the Ghibli profile pictures.
Yeah.
It's like those things spread everywhere and everybody's like, how do I make mine? Then they go seek out the tool
They're
or the
trying
software
to be
go make their
Adobe.
own.
They're not trying to be YouTube. And that's a really important distinction. They're trying to say, hey, do you want to make things like this? Come to our website and pay us
I'm
to
just
make
saying
it.
Adobe's money comes almost entirely through big, long form corporate contracts. Like most people,
Yeah.
regular people pirate it. they find some way of using it. You and me paying for Photoshop is not how they make their money. They make their money because they sign a deal with Microsoft or whatever for a big corporate contract.
You actually
sign
sound
a
like
big
me.
quarter.
You
So is
sound
it-
like me explaining to my parents when I was 15 why it was okay that I stole Photoshop.
And it was
they're not
okay.
coming for me.
But Adobe knows you steal it, and they want you to use it so that when you grow up and get a job in the industry, you require your corporation to buy this license. So maybe this will work. Maybe enough corporate people need to use AI to make
They
SpongeBob.
do.
Like, I don't know.
How is a company going to
I'm not-
function if you can't? By the way, some of the best ones, Mario in a cop chase going
yeah.
down the
A lot
side.
of cop chases.
A lot of cop
Every
chases.
coach's been arrested.
Every person, dude. Michael Jackson stealing my fried chicken, incredible. I mean, there are amazing videos out of this.
There's a really good one of Sam Altman breaking into Studio Ghibli's headquarters,
Yes.
grabbing all the papers off of Miyazaki's desk, and running away while he's chased by Miyazaki. That was Chef's Kiss.
There's a huge trend around Sam Altman, the creator,
crimes.
committing crimes, which is so funny. So funny.
Internet's undefeated. Guys, that's our stand. I do look forward to